Jonathan Smith heading to Michigan State. Initial reaction is surprised and great hire by Michigan State. I'm surprised because Jonathan Smith is an alum of Oregon State, and I've been around the facility and talked with him a few times over the years, and I had the sense that there was a world where his quality of life in Corvallis was so great that he might stay there and enjoy what he's built at his alma mater and be one of those coaches that hangs at a program for an extended period of time. It's a great hire by Michigan State because people forget Oregon State, they weren't just mediocre, they weren't just okay, they weren't even just bad. They were awful in 2017. And Jonathan Smith has built them up to be right behind Utah in terms of the most physical team out west. And I think the identity and the culture that he built in Corvallis is very plug and play for what could happen at Michigan State. Second big takeaway is it's hard not to think about the impact of conference realignment in this type of decision. To say it a different way, if Oregon State had a certain future and was not on the outside looking in conference realignment, does that impact Jonathan Smith's decision? Who knows? I think a lot of head coaches historically have viewed it as, hey, there are 70 Power 5 head coaching jobs. If I get the opportunity to get one, great, I'm going to take it. I would not surprise me if 3 years from now, coaches start viewing it as, hey, there are 34 premier head coaching jobs between the 18 teams in the Big Ten and the 16 teams in the SEC. Those are viewed as the premier jobs. And so with a decision like this for Jonathan Smith, he is securing one of those 34 premier head coaching jobs. I'm aware that that might be a stretch right now, but if we fast forward 3 years, would not surprise me if a lot of head coaches start viewing the coaching landscape that way. Third takeaway, and you heard it here first, it would not surprise me if Aiden Childs, Oregon State's current backup quarterback, is Michigan State's starting quarterback next year. And that's no slight against DJ Uiagalelei. Throughout the season, he's played well for them, but Aiden Childs, I mean, I've heard it from Jonathan Smith himself. He's as promising of a true freshman quarterback as Jonathan Smith has been around. I thought that even if Jonathan Smith did not make this move, that Aiden Childs was potentially a transfer portal get for some school. I think with Jonathan Smith heading to Michigan State, would not surprise me at all if Aiden Childs is Michigan State's starting quarterback next year. And then two last little nuggets for Michigan State fans. Oregon State under Jonathan Smith had great staff continuity, which I know isn't a sexy point, but I say that because their offensive line coach, Jim Michalczyk, one of the best in the country. Assuming that Jonathan Smith takes a lot of his staff from Oregon State, Michalczyk is a huge get, especially at the offensive line position and especially in the Big Ten. And then defensively, Trent Bray, he was on that trajectory to be one of those defensive coordinators that gets poached by a big boy. Well, maybe Michigan State allows Trent Bray to come from Oregon State to Michigan State, a younger defensive coordinator, been there, got the nod or got the raise up a couple years ago. He is a great coordinator, and both those assistant coaches would be great gets for Michigan State.